My name's Trudy Watts. I live here in Courtenay, and I volunteer here twice a week usually, from July till probably October. And I work in various gardens, in the medicinal herb garden, in the culinary garden, and sometimes in the vegetable garden and with the raspberries as well. What I love about being here is that I get an opportunity to see all the phases and stages of life of the plants. I'm involved in a lot of different activities, so I can see how and when we harvest particular plants. I get to learn about the life under the soil from Thierry. I get to expand my knowledge of medicinal plants with Chanchel. And it's in such a beautiful rural setting. Of course, it's quite peaceful. We're surrounded by a nice ring of forest, so there's a fair bit of bird life. There's really an experience of, the therapeutic effects of nature in a sense. What I get from it is an opportunity to feel oneself in connection with other beings, other aspects of nature. So it's a feeling of belonging in a sense, and a feeling of connection to life. So it's a perfect antidote to isolation, and it's also an experience of really, I guess, the wholeness of life. You can really start at whatever level you're at. There's such a range of tasks that are calling out for to be done, that need to be done on a big scale operation like this. And there's support for a diversity of people with a diversity of skills. There's always a way to plug in. And it's pretty hard to make drastic mistakes, so you don't have to be fearful that you're going to do anything terribly wrong. And it's a really welcoming environment. After, a 4-hour morning, we all sit down at this table and under this beautiful cherry tree and have a great home-cooked meal. It's a feeling of joy. It's a feeling of peace and relaxation. Mentally, you're able to just kind of focus here and be here. It's very refreshing that way. It's sort of mentally, emotionally, and spiritually refreshing and uplifting. I've known Chanchel for over 3 years as a herbal medicine practitioner and as a teacher. Everything that she says is interesting and educational. So it's really fun to be with her in the garden. Even weeding, she makes weeding interesting, and she certainly has almost like an encyclopedic knowledge of plants, both culinary and medicinal. So it's fun and informative. And Thierry is also a joy to be with. I've really learned a lot from him about the life beneath the soil, and also I've been able to attend some of his lectures here and heard him talk about the microbiome of humans. So there's so much depth of knowledge that they both have. It's a pretty rare opportunity to be with special people. This place inspires me because I really see it as furthering a tradition of herbal medicine, and I think that tradition needs to be nurtured, and we need places to go where people can see plants growing, and they can talk to people who are using medicinal herbs, and they can participate in conferences and workshops and all the things that happen here that promote the growing and the proper use of herbal medicine. I'm also really inspired by the horticultural therapy work that both Thierry and Chanchel offer here, and I've seen people who are among the volunteers here who are here for special reasons, for healing reasons, and I've really seen for the first time how horticultural therapy can benefit people. And finally, the growth of this place as a botanic garden, as a public garden, inspires me because it can be more and more, in future, it will be more and more accessible to the general public. And anyone who comes here that I've heard after they've visited, they come away and they're so enlivened and inspired and interested. So people's interest in plants is really increasing all the time, and this is a place where people can get a firsthand experience. There's a lot of reasons that one would want to support this place, because this is not really a mainstream activity. There aren't many places that are given a lot of, say, government funding to do the kind of work that's happening here. It's really dependent on, I think, people who love this kind of work and who can see the value to come and support it through volunteer hours or by purchasing really great homemade, farm-made herbal products in the little shop here. And to also be able to support financially the Gardens Without Borders, which is located here, that's doing the horticultural therapy work. For now, where we're at, I guess, in our society, this isn't valued enough by mainstream funding organizations. So it's, I think it can really benefit from word of mouth support from local people and horticultural groups that come up, like gardening groups and naturalist groups. There's really a wide range of people with interest that could find a lot is here for them. The thing I've been so impressed by and learned a lot about is the open-hearted, generous hospitality and non-judgmental environment that's been created. So I've experienced that and seen how that is created and how it's supported and how people blossom in that kind of environment. And I really credit Thierry and Chanchel for teaching me that.